Hey, welcome back. So after the regime change between Trump and Biden, that's where it was supposed to continue on through COVID and be this big lockdown reset sort of situation. But because Biden got in there, it disrupted the whole plan. So now they're behind. They're like behind schedule on this massive world reset that they all want. Now they're playing catch up, which is why you're seeing a shit ton of this untrained, scared man children in the streets with guns, unaliving people. And, that's not the intention. Like, if they were really trying to unalive us on massive scales, they'd be doing it and it'd look a lot different. And they are, in a sense, because it's in our food, it's in our society, the way we're conditioned to consume and just be, not be free thinkers and just follow the norms and just go along with everything. Coca-Cola is my best friend, and all stuff like that, and not actually think for yourselves. Like, that alone is its own brand of programming that is meant to kill you. But as far as quick death, like ICE executing people in the streets, like, if that was the intention, they'd be doing that on a lot larger scales. But that is a consequence or a product of untrained people, scared man children, not officers. Do not call them officers. It makes my skin crawl to hear these guys being referred to as officers. But the intention is to lock shit up. Like, they're behind schedule. They're playing catch up right now on this bigger thing, this global reset that they need people cataloged. They need to know who's here. They need to know where they are and like how to track them. And it's the same reason why people can't be homeless anymore. People can't live and not have like a fixed residence of, you can't live out of your car. You can't even like live out of your RV. It needs to be, you need to have a residence. Otherwise you're considered homeless and you go to a camp. Why is that? Because that way, whatever happens now, I'm not a fortune teller or anything as far as like saying that I know what's going to happen, but something big is going to happen here with the way we are viewed as citizens, the way we interact with our government, the way they interact with us. Like, something is being established to cause us to be traceable. Everyone here within our borders, they need to be tracked and traced. And whether that's in preparation for more of a massive AI blanket surveillance software, which they are actively trying to roll out. And I don't know if it's every single state or if it's just the states that have fresh water, but it is everywhere surrounding the Great Lakes, because they have access to all that water for cooling all of the equipment. And or if it's just in areas that they figure will meet the least amount of resistance from the sleeping sheeple. But I'm hearing it all over the place. These data centers, these AI data centers are going up. They're AI surveillance centers. That is 1984 Big Brother Palantir surveillance. Facial recognition, talking about taking all of the data from this black box that we all carry and filtering it all through an AI so that they have eyes and ears in every single situation everywhere. That's the goal. behind these surveillance centers or these AI data centers. No, that's just the whitewashed language that they use to refer to these things are evil. And they're going to control your life if you let them into your, we cannot allow them to be built. They're talking about they're going to use so much power they need their own power plant. They don't need to exist. What do we need them for? Tell me one thing that AI is doing currently that is worth a damn, that is going to revolutionize the way we do things. What AI isn't fucking up on a routine basis, simple questions that you're asking it? And I know we're given the dumbed down version that can't tell you how to do certain things and whatever, but AI is just a large language model, an LLM. We don't need all these data centers for large language models. We need data centers for surveillance on the citizenry. That's what these are being built for. We need to get more involved in getting these stopped. I don't care if they're making their own power. I don't care. They're going to use up all your fresh water, whether it's groundwater or it's taken from the lakes or siphoned from the rivers. Whatever it is, they need that water for cooling, and then for the oppression that comes from being surveilled 24/7. They don't have to build the cameras. The cameras are already here. They're in there. They just need a system to collect it all and organize it. And they want you to build it and fund it. That's Palantir. Peter Thiel. That's why he's so up there. That's why Vance was completely funded by Peter Thiel. If this shit, like, you connect the dots here, AI data centers, Peter Thiel, Palantir, JD Vance. Like, come on. Now, ICE going around, rounding people up. It's all part of a plan. It's a big, like, they try to distract, like, these little pieces here and there. Because if you're focused on a little piece, you're not seeing the bigger pieces, right? The whole picture. And I'm not just talking about distracting from the Epstein files. We know he's a sick fuck. We know that the Epstein files would bring down the system of government as we know it. That it's not just one person, it's all of them. That Epstein himself was building a network, and whether he was trying to be the ringleader eventually, like eventually have so much dirt on people that he controlled everything. I don't know, like no one knows at this point, and can only speculate, or whether he was trying to bring it all down. He could have been a good guy too, like you never know. But they got him out of the way, but they didn't make it go away for them. And they know that once this gets exposed, like everyone on the face of this earth is going to question their government and just the general principle of being controlled by other humans. Like, that shit is going to go away. This being born and believing that governing authorities and that government over you, that any sort of an authority over you is normal. It's not. It's not fucking normal. What animal is born to this planet and all of a sudden decides that, oh yeah, I can't do what's in here because this other animal is telling me that I can't? What? No. An animal has sovereignty. We humans have sovereignty. No one tells us what we can't do. And to have the system of government that does is an archaic fallacy of the patriarchy. But until then, catch my next one for the spillover, and thanks for checking this one out. I'll see you in the next one. Never stop spreading your light. I love you. Hey, welcome back to the next one. The patriarchy would have you believe that having governance is normal, that it's fine, that they have your best interests in mind. But all it does is ensure authority for them and control over you. That's all it does. That it doesn't keep people safe, because no one is safe from the patriarchy. We know that. We know that they're going to use it as a way to establish dominance and also a way to derive their power. That climbing the patriarchy is just a pursuit of more power over other people. When we start seeing that as a collective, and we start coming to terms with the fact that this entire system as we know it has been founded on patriarchal values of dominance and control, that we start to question and really come in alignment with truth, with how we all feel things should, from in our nature, like from birth, we question authority. As kids, we question it. You know, kids are constantly, that's the formative years of your life are spent questioning authority, testing the boundaries, seeing what you can get away with and what you can't, and all this stuff. But we're learning too how to climb in this patriarchal based society, how to gain more power and the pursuit of power. That in accepting the fact that we are being controlled by our government, by our patriarchal societies, by our patriarchal religions, by narcissistic systems, we're being controlled. We seek comfort in the pursuit of having control over other people. Makes you feel more in control of yourself. And in order to do that, you need to climb in the patriarchal society. You need to gain and amass power somehow. Whether that's hoarding land, hoarding resources, hoarding something that someone else wants, gives you power and control to that degree. So when you break things down to that level and you realize that hoarding is a product of the patriarchy and a pursuit of control. Now, understanding that we are all sovereign and that it is only the patriarchy which makes us combative towards each other, and the desire to dominate each other is only a product of being dominated. Understanding that we are all slaves to this system, this patriarchy, that in itself is making us hostile towards others, our other people, fellow humans. It makes us hostile because we are subjects of the patriarchy. It's slaves attacking slaves. It's the cops, the police, thinking that they're police, but really they're just as much slaves as we are, only they're the ones with the guns and the law degrees that tell them what they can and can't get away with, what we can and can't get away with. And they're meant to be that little dictator in between our bigger oppressive tyrannical dictators. So that take our sovereignty. We get, actually, they don't take it, we give it, because we're trained to. In school, in learning the patriarchal structure, like, it's, you give your sovereignty to those above you. the patriarchal religions, narcissistic societies. It's all, you are taught to idolize what's above you and repress what's below you. And in this system of cataloging and filing, and the way we perceive our world around us is we're constantly either putting stuff beneath us or above us. We're always analyzing, we're always judging, we're always forming opinions about things. And where we find ourselves on that level is where we place ourselves within the feeling of self. Like, that's where we derive our sense of self from, is our level of. That's why there's so much depression right now, because people are so confused by the patriarchal. They might be partially awakened to truth and the way that things should be, but then they're being told by the patriarchal system that, no, this is how things are, and it's a distortion and a corruption of truth. It's, everything is flipped. I talked in other videos about, in my Dark Triad series, about the pyramid. The patriarchy has everyone trying to get to the top. But all that does is make everyone beneath the top just another part of the base. You don't actually ever get anywhere on the patriarchal pyramid. I called it the new dark triad, which a pyramid is like a triad, right? The three corners, right? And so, like, this, on this patriarchal pursuit of getting to the top, what people don't realize is all the way up, you're just another part of the base. You're just at a different stage in that. But ultimately, it's inverted, because what we don't realize is that, we don't need people in power. It's, if everyone is trying to get to the same spot, you invert the pyramid. Like, everyone down here is trying to get there. What happens to down here then? It becomes up here. So now everyone is trying to be up here, but that leads to failure. We can't have that. And so the pursuit of that is the failure of it's why the patriarchy makes you disregard your own sovereignty and others. And because of you disregarding your own, it makes you disregard others' sovereignty. It makes you place people beneath you. It makes you place other people above you, which gives up your own sovereignty. You take the sovereignty from people who you perceive to be beneath you, and you give your sovereignty to people that you perceive to be above you, like the billionaires. It makes you idolize the oligarchs. It makes you idolize your slavers, your captors, your oppressors. It literally is a slave society that we're trained to participate in, and it's effective because it keeps everyone sleeping. It keeps everyone hostile towards each other. It makes people want to steal from each other, because hoarding is a thing, because power comes in the hoarding of resources, and the scarcity that is derived from the patriarchy, hoarding, that makes people want to take some of that for themselves. And that's where crime comes from. That's where murder comes from. That's all these bad things that the government is supposed to be protecting us from is actually what the government is causing us to do. That's the prop. So when we understand our own sovereignty and we see this, we realize that, oh, you mean the government is the source of all of our problems? Yes. And now with the Epstein files, oh, you mean the government is just a bunch of tyrants that like to rape children, like to rape our own children? Yes. Oh, maybe government isn't really as good as they tried to teach us it was in school. What happens when the populace starts thinking along those lines? Find out in my next one, and I'll see you there. I love you. Okay, fuck that. I guess I'm not doing that. I was about to jump on and do my first ever live. I've been thinking about it for a while, but I never actually got up to the point of like, okay, go live. And then as soon as you're about to go live, you like finally get the courage to, and it sits there and tries to have you verify that you're 18. Okay. Take a selfie. Yeah. Take a picture of my face. Am I 18? Somehow that failed. And so they need either a selfie with an ID or credit card information to verify that you're... No, you know what that is? That's so that they can come after you. If you say something controversial or something, that's how the FBI ends up at your door, is by tracking you through the information you provide to verify that you're 18. Otherwise, I'm anonymous. I'm 18. I can't go on a live and broadcast myself without being traceable. This goes back to the entire thing that I've been talking about. And I was like, should I do a live today? I don't know, because my voice is already starting to feel... I've done like 4 or 5 videos already, 10 minutes each, talking about this shit from today. And I'm like, you know what? I'm sick of having to stop what I'm saying every 10 minutes and say, hey, see you next time, and then come back on. And because I record them in 10-minute segments and then to release them. And I'd just rather have like a live interaction with people that might be interested in what I'm talking about. So I go on live, and now it's like, oh no, now that first option to do just a selfie portrait of like your face to verify your age, that failed somehow. It says, whoops, sorry, you're gonna have to find a different way to verify that you're 18. So that option is just gone now. Like, it doesn't get to retry it or like, you know, anything like that. It's just gone. It's off the table. Now it's either ID or credit card. And I'm like, fuck that. I guess I'm back to 10-minute videos, because I'm not doing that. I'm not going to have them say, oh yeah, we can find out who this guy is, and then have that traced to my account. And then all of a sudden the FBI is at my door because I said something bad about that they didn't like about, because they're using it as a political operatives, because I'm talking shit about Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance and Kristi Noem as a bird-legged hoe and ICE and all the fuckers that I want to go live and talk about. The regime, the tyrannical narcissistic dictator, Mr. Poopy Pants, orangutan. You know, I'm ashamed to say that I fucking voted for the guy. You know, like, you don't see it like a narcissist. You don't see their true colors until they know they got you. Like, now, you know, what are we going to do to him now? We've already impeached him. We've already given him multiple felonies, and he's still there. And now he's in his last, you know, he's in his twilight of years and also his term. So, like, there's literally nothing we can do to him. And he knows it. And that's when you start to see their true colors. It's classic. But the minute I come out and start talking about these fuckheads is the minute that, oh, you said something that, and then they can sit there and take my video data and analyze it and say, oh, you know, the Spanish fucking Inquisition can come to my door then and really go up my ass, because now they have a name and an address and stuff. Yeah, fuck that. Come find me, you motherfuckers. Anyway, we were talking about the tyrannical structure of the patriarchal system and how it is integrated into our lives from birth, because our parents were integrated into it, and we were just trained generationally to accept these forms of oppression through government, and just accepting, you know, in school they taught us about the peasants, they taught us about the slaves, they taught us about all these former people who had it so bad, but they never told us that we were these very people, just in a different packaging, in a different society. They never told us you're exactly what these people were. We just call it by a different name now. Now we call it free people. We call it a free society. We call it freedom. It's the illusion of freedom. It's the illusion of choice. And the illusion that you're making a decision. And that your voice matters. It's not. It's all an illusion. And the only people who are immune to it are the ones at the top of the pyramid. And the ones nearing the top. The ones that make up the base keep climbing, keep trying to climb. But they're just part of the base still that's supporting the ones above them. You're always going to have that one above you, or be part of the base and put others beneath you. And now those that are beneath you are supporting you. 5:55 on the time clock. So I'm not going to be a part of that anymore. And I'm trying to get people to wake up to it. And I'm trying to go live. But now they want some accountability so that they can come up my ass when I'm just speaking the truth here. But I'm saying stuff that's dangerous to their system, and they want to know who to hang for it. They want a name. They want me to give up my name and my address and my identity so that they know who to persecute for saying these things. Fuck that. Come find me, motherfuckers. We'll get them, though. I mean, I can't say we're realizing it, but I think more and more of us are seeing that it's better to be sovereign. It's better to, do the things that we love. And when we're not questioning the things that they're trying to tell us that we can't do, that, like free speech, when we're just not questioning that they're trying to tell us where we can and can't be in public. We pay for the fucking sidewalks that they are literally telling us we can't be on. We're paying for the people to shoot rubber bullets at us. We're paying to get tear gassed. We're paying to get pepperballed. And that's just okay, because they have the authority. They have the jurisdiction and the ability to be able to have these weapons and hold them. And if any one of us showed up with any of those, what if we started bringing fucking paintball guns with pepper balls in them and rubber bullets and less than lethal ammunition and tear gas? What if we started bringing that shit and saying, no, you guys are being oppressive. We're fearing for our lives against you. We're worried that you're getting out of control. So this is our ability to keep you in control. That's what the fucking Second Amendment is. But the minute we start exercising that right, we get executed in the street by one of their scared man children minions. They're not officers. They're following the dictation of a tyrannical, out of control, psychopathic child molester. And a bird-legged hoe, and a Nosferatu, and a guy who has a couch fetish and loves eyeliner. It's a fucking Gotham City all over again. I would love to create like a cartoon strip of like fictional characters based on their real life counterparts. That's an idea. The orangutan and everyone beneath him. It'd be awesome to see like a cartoon. I'm not an artist, so. But thanks for checking me out in this one. I would have gone live, but I'm not going to. I'm not putting my fucking ID or my credit card information on this app. Fuck that. So I guess you guys are stuck with 10-minute videos. So check out the ones to follow this one. Thanks for checking out this one. And until next time, never stop spreading your light. I love you.